Hey, soul survivors. So we are going to talk about the husband stitch, what it is and what to do about it. So when I had my daughter, I actually had my tailbone broken and I was cut twice. She was coming out the wrong way. Every contraction, her head was just kind of rotating instead of pushing through. So they had to cut me twice and she broke my tailbone. First thing out was her hand. But the doctor had said I put an extra stitch in there. So it's like, okay, never talked about it, but that's the husband stitch. So some husbands or partners will ask for that extra stitch to kind of tighten your area up. But this is the thing is I came across a video about the husband stitch and they're talking about how it's unethical. It's not something that they just do, but it was done to me without my consent. Would I have done it? Who knows? But I didn't have the ability to say yes or no, that it was just done. And also, I don't think the doctor talked to my ex, but maybe the doctor is more concerned about what the man wants. I did have a male doctor, so maybe that's his just personal preference. Like, yeah, why not do that? But they don't consider the patient, and that's very narcissistic. And it also, a lot of people are concerned about body size, whether you're a man, too big, too small, a woman, too tight, too loose, whatever. But he didn't ask, do you have issues? Is it painful? If I make it tighter, is that going to make it worse? All those kind of things should have been considered, but it's just this extra stitch that they put in after you have a child. It's unethical to not discuss that with your patient. And it's also unethical to take the husband's or the boyfriend's or person's desires over the actual woman who gave birth. So if you've ever been through that, please let me know if you're willing to share. Also, if you are about to have a child or have a child in the future, just be aware that this is a practice that sometimes goes on. Now, I had my daughter in 1992, and it was more common like in the 70s, 80s, probably still into the 90s. But it is something that they're not taught to do. It is something that is seen as unethical to just do. But I wanted to bring awareness to it because it is an actual thing that can occur. So possibly be proactive and talk to your doctor about it. There are legal ramifications that, if you can prove the situation, I don't know what the statute of limitations is on that, but we have had a male-dominated society for a long time. And, I do want to do some more videos on medical narcissism. I had some experiences myself that were medically narcissistic to where it was for the benefit of either the hospital when I had my burn scar surgery, that there was some manipulation in how they proceeded. And sometimes they promise certain things. I also had one type of surgery that I was supposed to do, but due to an infection, they're like, well, we can do breast augmentation because they already had my money. I'm a A cup, but I'm very happy with how I look. It's just smaller than most women, but to where, give opinions when opinions are needed, that, some women that could be devastating to them, where they're like, I'm not good enough. I'm not woman enough. Like, why would he bring that up? And we also have to realize that these people just want to hold on to your money. So moving forward, be proactive. But sometimes, like, I would have never thought to ask, will you put an extra stitch in me? It's hard to be proactive sometimes, and we go in relying on people to have our best interest at heart when we're the patient. And unfortunately, that's not always the situation. So be aware of that. Be aware if your procedure is going to be done by the doctor that you believe is doing the surgery. I had burn scar revision where I believed it was my doctor doing it. And I had students working on different areas of my body and they botched my arm up. It's better now, but I had, I don't even know. You can kind of see a dip right there a little bit, but this used to be way up. It was so tight, so uncomfortable. I couldn't give blood from that arm because of tourniquet. or even just touching it was creepy feeling for over a decade. So be as proactive as you can and be willing to say no, or if that's up to you, that's fine. Like I said, I don't know what I would have decided, but I wasn't even given the opportunity to decide. Something was done to my body without my consent. So take charge of your healthcare as much as you can. Do research on what common practices or fraudulent practices are done in your type of situation. There are times that doctors do have to make certain decisions. And as long as they have your best interest at heart and they are knowledgeable, there are times in emergency situations where they might have to do something, but an extra stitch, there was time to ask me. I was coherent. I wasn't under anesthesia. So narcissism is alive and well in different kinds of sectors, at work, in advertising, in medical situations. It's all over and it's rampant. That we have to stand our ground, be educated, and protect ourselves the best that we can. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that that's what the husband stitch is. And it's real. It happened to me.